Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first YouTube stream, rather. If it could. Oh, I have it on the background. Wow. James is off to a fucking strong start here. Wow. So good.
That's the show, everybody.
Put the thumbnail on the freaking background. Yeah, that's smart. All right, let's try that one more time. There we go.
If that doesn't encapsulate this show, I don't know what will.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first official stream here on Wrestling with Tism, debuting on YouTube. This is episode 34, so if you're confused on where the other 33 episodes are and your first vision is on YouTube, it is because we are legitimately debuting on YouTube, and we did all the other ones on X. So there you go. I am your host, the man James Hebert, joined as always by the Wrestlefish and the Soap Dish. Right here. I probably pointed to the wrong directions, but the Fish and Dish connection. How you guys doing?
You weren't wearing a hat.
Now I am wearing a hat. Was that a problem?
Yeah, because this is
like
like
some
metamorphosis. He does like hats a bit too much.
I do like hats. Listen,
yeah,
I like my hats. All right, it is.
You leave the snapback clapper alone.
Hey, we're not bringing that in here.
No, we are.
No,
we are. Yeah.
No.
Makes its way to YouTube. It's the way it's going to be.
No.
Oh,
but
Ryan,
yes,
what
guys,
are you holding there?
We are not by
the undisputed
ourselves. We actually do have people in. Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Shine it up real good.
There we go.
Right.
So I'm
get this out of the way.
Shine it up.
Is it quite weighty, Ryan?
It is not as heavy as it should be. WWE replicas are hollowed out
because we're weak. We're not wrestlers.
No, because it's an illusion of inflation, my guy. What can I say?
Fair enough. Oh, James turns to a ninja style.
It's like a 4 or 5 millimeter championship title, and it's all hollowed out.
Fair enough.
How was everybody's weekend?
Well, my weekend was better than James's experiences right now because he is trying to, I imagine, fix some audience issues. But yeah, I will start with the spoiler, Ryan. There will be no Hannibal went to the movies this episode because Hannibal did not go to the movies this weekend, even though there was a film he wanted to go and see, and even though I wanted to, I just didn't get a chance to. So I guess we can talk about the film that I was going to go and see. We'll see at some point.
My follow-up question is, will there be a Hannibal open to streaming app and watch the movie instead segment?
There we go. Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened there.
That's a good question. Did I watch...
Growing pains, everybody.
You know what? The only thing we watched this weekend really was Stranger Things Season 5.
Yeah. I think I haven't watched anything since the last time we were on. I did watch Doctor Sleep. I did watch that. I enjoyed it.
Yes.
I think that movie got a lot of hate for some weird reasons.
Yeah.
And considering no Stephen King adaptation is like 1-to-1, I don't know why people thought this one should have been 1-to-1.
Yeah.
It's weird. Been watching a lot of Welcome to Derry. That is what has me gripped right now. I watch that week to week, and normally I don't do that. Normally I just wait for everything to have been, so I can binge watch it. Wait for everything to air. Yeah. But I don't know. I like this clown.
Fair.
James likes this hat. You like this clown. Just sometimes the way it goes, you know.
You know, you'll watch one Juggalo Championship Wrestling show, and suddenly you have to each and everything clown.
You like all clowns. That's fair.
Run by clowns, but by clowns. Featuring clowns. JCW.
This is very true. This is very true.
Shout out Vince Russo.
Yeah, true. Real quick, we are not alone by ourselves. We actually do have people waiting in gorilla position, and I do think we're kind of just running this like a vibe space. I'm sure there's going to be some C2 discussion in here.
Oh, I've got some questions pertaining to an actual, conversation, but we can get to that as we bring in some people.
Yeah,
yes,
and we
sir.
also had quite a big wrestling weekend, so I'm sure that will come up as well.
Yes,
as this is Wrestling with Tism.
This is in fact Wrestling with Tism. Real quick, let us go to the Mayor of Canada Stampede, because I feel like he hardly ever gets to go first, and I feel like he is the mayor, so we got to have him go first. Mayor, you're on the air. Can you hear us? He is not unmuting, so I assume he is busy. Dev, we'll go to you next, and then we'll go to Adam.
Going on, gentlemen?
There we
go.
There it is.
Dev, we'll go to you next, and then we'll go to Adam.
Going
on, gentlemen?
You're okay. Make sure
There's
you have
a delay.
the stream muted. We can, yeah. Make sure the stream is muted on your end because we can hear. Yeah. Okay. This I wasn't expecting to have happen when he was speaking, but Stampede, how are you enjoying the C2? We'll start with that just as kind of a test and also just do a question.
Loving it so far. Lots of intrigue, lots of interesting matches, especially with Claudio coming up winning the CMLL Heavyweight Championship. We got Moxley this Wednesday. How does Dorada play into that? So, yeah, lots of intertwining stories going into this. So I like that. I think this is the best setup they've had for one yet.
I'm really happy that Claudio's finally a champion again, and it's for CMLL because I've heard he's had a lot of great things going on in that promotion. So I'm happy.
Got a lot of stuff thrown at him the other night. They were throwing like bottles and glasses.
Oh, was he like a major heel? Oh shit! There you go. There you go.
Well, he defeated the champion of 3 years.
Him, Yuta, and Garcia. They were not happy with those three gentlemen.
I bet. You were saying Hannibal. Go ahead.
Hannibal, you didn't watch a movie, my man. You know what you got to do? I put it in the chat. You got to rank all the Ernest movies. Ernest Saves Christmas. Ernest Goes to Camp.
Ernest Gets Stupid.
Yeah, he wants to do. He wants that. Stay tuned for that one, folks.
I do. I do. I used to think those movies were really funny when I was a kid. I haven't seen one since I was about 7, so that would be an experience. But yeah, thanks, Stampede. But but Claudio, he dethroned the champion of 3 years, right?
I believe so. Yeah, it was the champion of 3 years. I think something like that.
Gran Guerrero has been champion since 2022.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Well, there you go. Thank you, everybody. By the way, that is viewing with us. If you want to join us in a discussion, you can wait in the waiting room on the WrestleCollective Discord. We do have 3 people on right now if you want to join in with us. But yeah, fair dues.
Put the link in the chat.
I did already. I will do that just momentarily, and I will also put it in the chat. Advocate, what are you thinking of the C2 this year? Because I know you got a lot to say about the C2. I know we were talking about it earlier off the air.
Well, first I want to say thank you for joining us from the magazine stand, apparently, where you live. Like, what the hell is behind you, Hebert?
Listen, what's wrong with my stuff? Listen, I have a collectible. What's the problem? I was GameCube kid. I got my GameCube games there. I love how I get this shit. We don't talk about Ryan having the Power Rangers set up in the back here.
Yeah, because you've got magazines. You've got like half a forest behind you.
It's not magazines. It's video games. I have them as part of my backdrop. I needed something on my backdrop. Shit.
first I thought they were like bootleg DVDs. I was like, well, why didn't you let Hannibal borrow one so he could have seen a movie this weekend?
I mean, does he really want to go and watch the history of the WWE Championship right here, predominantly at part of my setup?
I'm pretty good, thank you.
But to your question, I think that the C2 has been excellent so far. Four great matches already. And yeah, just a lot more to come. I did my brackets already. I'm excited to see them get absolutely destroyed like they did last year. So that'll be fun to watch.
This is fair. It was
a cracking start. It was a cracking start to the C2. Like
it was indeed. Yeah.
Real grabs.
Real grabs indeed. So yeah, guys, I put it in the Twitter group for our regulars. I also put it in the chat on YouTube. So if you guys want to join in with us, wait in the waiting room if you can. That'd be greatly appreciated. Hello, Slick. Slick gets a bypass. He can immediately come into gorilla position. What's up, brother?
What's up, dog? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. If you want to hear Ryan and Hannibal, you have to make sure to hit the watch stream. By the way, that I feel like I'm gonna have to like make
No,
a thing.
I'm watching you guys. I of course have to tune in. You guys look great. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Of course, support the team, support the guys. You guys are great. Love wrestling with Tism. It's a great way to get the week started.
You're damn right. So how are you enjoying the C2 this year, Slick? As far as everything goes,
I will say I've said it before on another space, and I'll say it again in this right now. We finally got the American G1. What the equivalent of what the G1 would be to America. I think the C2 this year, in particular, has become, because look at the level of stars. I want to say Advocate pointed it out very eloquently that there's not a lot of pin eaters. There's not a lot of people who just take pins in this tournament. So far, I'm loving the C2, and there's not really a wrong answer on who can win.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the way they shocked people with the Kevin Knight pinfall against Darby Allin, I think was definitely provides a lot of intrigue as far as that goes. You know what I mean? Like it just produces some unpredictability, and I like that.
If you had Kevin Knight beating Darby Allin, you're lying.
Well, yeah,
you're
exactly.
Lying.
I had Darby Allin. I thought Darby was going to win
because of how he was, so on and so forth. So if you had Darby, or not Darby, but Kevin Knight winning, you were lying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Ryan, Hannibal, thoughts on that?
I can't remember what I said on Light the Fuse last week about Kevin Knight actually, but regardless, even if I thought there was like a chance he could win, the fact he won was impressive. The only thing I'm not that keen on with the C2 this year is I feel it's really disjointed in terms of what are we fighting for, because we had the unification of the C2 and the international title, so we got that, and we know it's not for the international title, but it's for the C2, which was unified but now isn't unified, so you can win that in this tournament, and it's like, what can we make this less confusing? Ryan thinks he can make this less confusing.
I asked this question to a few, but before I get to that, I want to say we were all on board for Kyle getting the surprise win on Okada last week. We were not all on board. Basically, it was discussed whether or not Kevin Knight could get a win on Darby, but none of us really believed that he could get a win on Darby. Because the likelihood of us getting 2 shock wins in the same night was unlikely. So that is the case. I certainly did not have Kevin Knight going over Darby last week because I had Kyle going over Okada. With that said, someone explained this to me, and I'm not a huge boxing fan, But when two championships are unified in boxing, they are still two singular titles. It's just one
That's correct.
champion.
Yeah, that's
And
usually
that
So
and
so you have like in especially with heavyweight, right? You have like your lineal champion, and then you have each like the WBC, the IBC,
yeah.
those because those are kind of different organizations, same rules and whatnot, but they have the IBC has its world champion, the WBC has its world champion. Now the title holders of each fight, and now they become the unified champion simply because they're holding both of them.
Yeah, which is what Tony Khan
But they're
based it off.
the lineages aren't. Yeah, the lineages aren't now all of a sudden merged, unless specifically said like to go back to wrestling, like the universal title. Right? When they created that, I believe they combined the lineage of the previous. So, but yes, in boxing, no, that lineages are separate.
Yeah. Basically, it's very much an MMA style thing.
Yes, please, Advocate. Advocate knows a lot more about
knows
this
a lot
than
more
I do.
about it than probably both.
So there's a great example that I thought of is when Felix Trinidad lost his he lost one of his belts in a fight. But then he had to vacate the other two belts because he had lost. But that guy didn't win all three belts because he was only fighting for the one, what they call the ABC belts, because there's so many different boxing organizations.
Yeah.
And they all have names like Slick said, like the WBA, the IBF, the IBC. So typically, unless it's scheduled that you're fighting for all three titles, like for like the unified championship, if somebody loses that belt, like what happened with the C2, it's like, like the belt is vacated until somebody can claim, both the international and the continental crown again. So I think that like Tony definitely drew a lot of inspiration from boxing for like what he's doing.
I think MMA in general. That's why he that's why he always wanted to do
MMA doesn't really work that way. Just not to push back too much, but
no, yeah, you're right.
Thomas, get out there and go potty.
MMA is very much organizational. So in like boxing, like boxers are much more like akin to like independent contractors, like they say that wrestlers are. Where like you can fight for different organizations, different titles. But
what? What, Grumpy? You say, Grumpy?
Wait, say it again.
Grumpy?
Someone's got to go potty.
Yeah. It sounds like it could be Grumpy.
Could be Grumpy. His
name
is Grumpy.
Oh crap! I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know I wasn't. I'm trying to take the dogs to go.
This is why there's a waiting room, Grumpy.
God, this is the most wrestling with Tism moment. God, this is why I love this show.
Yeah, absolutely.
If only they weren't dogs and there was a toilet flush,
How's everybody doing?
Good,
Can't stand that dude.
Oh my god. Anyway,
Trying to piss on our podcast.
But yeah, what I was saying was in UFC, the organizations are more like pro wrestling companies.
Yeah.
So it's like when somebody loses their title, they'll just vacate the title, or they go to a different company. They'll just vacate the title and put it on somebody else. Like that person doesn't carry the championship with them. When like say if they left like UFC to go fight for PFL, like they just vacate the title, put it on somebody else. Like even though that person is still the lineal champion, which is like why they say in boxing, like that's the one that matters the most, is being the lineal champion.
I get it. I understand it. The problem is that when you are bringing something from another sport, even if it's another combat sport, if you're using that as your barometer and you're bringing that in to wrestling, explain it, because that's all fine. I think the only thing anyone wanted was a clear explanation of what had happened, because we were told a few months ago a title was unified, and in wrestling, when we've seen titles unified, what happens? They merge into one, they disappear. They don't get split up 2 months later. So, a simple explanation. It's a small nitpick, admittedly. We're getting some good TV. I'm enjoying the wrestling. I just wish that had been made clearer. Maybe we should send this to Tony Khan, you know, and he can confirm advocates.
Yeah.
You know.
By the way,
I've had-
Hannibal, when you can, try to turn your mic up because it sounds a little bit faint, or have it closer to you when you can.
I've
Oh, hold on. Actually, I think I know what the issue is. Go ahead, Brian.
I've had some debates with some people over the course of the last few months. This is in the build up to the C2, and I got to eat some crow because I was under the impression that the All Atlantic Championship, the international title, had been merged completely with the Continental title. That was what I was under the impression of when we had this unification match. That became less apparent. Tony confirmed a long time ago. This was in the media scrum from All In, right? That the titles weren't going anywhere, or the media call ahead of All In, that the international title was not being retired at all, right? And none of us really understood why. And I had pushed back against this idea. And comparisons steep of joy, I really should not use WWE or any other wrestling company as the barometer for how I measure things, right? But Cody Rhodes won the Universal Championship from Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. Correct?
Yes.
Incorrect. Actually,
no,
James, it was a trick. It was a trick question. It was a trick question. Despite them calling him the undisputed Universal Champion, he held it for a year. They called him that for a year when he lost to John Cena earlier this calendar year.
Yeah. You're right.
John Cena did not suddenly become a Universal Champion. He did not become an 18-time world champion. He became a 17-time world champion. And subsequently, they let him carry the belt. They let Cody Rhodes carry the Universal title for a year, only to retroactively strip him of that championship win. So is what it is. So I assumed that, yeah, there's an international champion, there's the Continental champion. I assumed that whenever Okada would have lost this championship, the unified title belt, that we were no longer going to acknowledge the existence of the C2 championship title and the international All Atlantic title. Now, what makes this confusing is we just invoked the image of the NWA national championship with the AEW national title. We are starting to get very similarly named championships in this company. It might be time to look at the international title and be like, you're the All Atlantic title again. Because if they just didn't mention it and brought it back as the All Atlantic title, the only people have been going like, hey, wait a minute, wasn't that this? None of us, the only people who care about it are the really autistic wrestling fans who are sticklers for attention. You know?
Ryan, can I just say as well, you said about you didn't want to measure things against WWE. So I've got to ask the question: like, if somebody asks how far, you are from the nearest Taco Bell, do you say, "Oh, I'm about 105 Cody Rhodes," or how do you measure stuff?
Okay, so WWE is a genre of professional wrestling. They do not get to make the rules for professional wrestling. You know, no. Cody Rhodes is the guy who said this a long time ago, that WWE doesn't control professional wrestling anymore because of the existence of AEW. That their paradigm, their narrative, that this is the only place that matters. Everything else doesn't matter. Yep. Doesn't work anymore because that was all PR. That was all propaganda. That is all very WWE. So just because WWE does something a certain way does not mean that that's how AEW should do it. If you know what I'm saying. If you grasp what I'm saying.
I agree with that.
I agree. I think the problem is that when you have something that's the industry leader for so long, I think that just becomes how it's seen anyway. Whether that's right or wrong, it's a mute point. But I think that is kind of the problem. And again, that kind of goes back to what I was saying about the C2 here. Because again, we're used to how other wrestling companies do it. If you want to do something different, that's great, as long as that's clearly defined. And I don't think that's been clearly defined. But anyway.
No, I agree with that. Let us go to another caller. We'll go to Abel, another regular of ours here. You're on the air, good sir. How you doing?
Welcome, Abel.
Welcome, Abel. How are you? Abel, you can unmute, by the way, if you want. Abel? All right.
Technical difficulties of doing this.
Yeah, technical difficulties of doing this. All right, we'll go to Tay then. We'll go to Tay, who's become a new-ish, but also regular member of our little clique here. So what's up, Tay?
Oh, not much. I just got home from work. Well, actually, I just got home from the dentist, but figured I'd pop in and say hi here.
Yeah.
At least, okay, so the dentist part, at least it was just a cleaning. I didn't have to actually get, like, work done on my teeth, so.
There you go. Perfect. Better than that. No. So what are you thinking of the C2 this year?
I think it's pretty good so far. I did miss a couple matches because I was not home, so I will have to go back. I think I missed and I missed Kevin Knight and Darby, but obviously I knew what happened. And then I missed the ones on Collision because I was I think that was Thanksgiving, so I was doing stuff. So
no.
But from what clips I've seen, what I've seen backstage, like promos and stuff like that, I've enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to what the league finals and the final match is going to be, since I will see those in person.
Okay.
So.
Because you're going to World's End, aren't you?
World's End,
yeah. Yes, I am.
There you go. Have a good time. We're definitely gonna have it. We're definitely gonna have you on with us to go over the experience. We did that. We're gonna be doing that with Ryan, I'm sure, next week on Tism, his experience at Dynamite.
This is my show. This is your show. This is a Hannibal show. Everyone's gonna hear my experience no matter what.
I mean, no shit.
But we are gonna hear her experience.
Yes.
Indeed.
We also heard Lady Winter Soldier's experience on, going to Full Gear or not Full Gear, but I think it was Blood and Guts she went to.
It was Blood and Guts, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Blood and Guts. I, for some reason, keep, Tism is what it is. I keep mixing the two for some reason.
Okay, it happens. I understand.
Shit happens.
But I'm hoping that it's not just me going.
Oh, it won't. They've sold more tickets than one.
If
things work out, I think Soto's going with me too.
Ooh.
So
we love Soto. Shout out Soto. Hope you're doing good.
Yes, shout out Soto.
We like Soto. We like Soda as well.
We do love Soda. Hannibal. This is true.
So hopefully it's not just me in the group here that's going to World's End. Maybe we'll get another person's input on it. It'll be fun though. I'm ready.
They're more than welcome as well. You can tell them if they want to share their experience on Tism. They're more than welcome.
Tay, this wouldn't be your first time going to a show with Solo, would it?
It would be my first time. We were supposed to go to Windy City Riot together, but it just didn't work out.
Oh wow! Oh well, that's nice.
So
that's really cool because obviously we've heard you both in Spaces for quite a while now.
Yeah, so, we just recently I mean, not recently. We've been friends now for I feel like almost a year. So our plan was to do Windy City Riot. It didn't work out. So when I found out that I had an extra ticket to World's End, I'm like, do you want to go? And they were like, yes. I'm like, sweet.
Fair.
Fingers crossed.
Fair. Well, we love to hear that. And I hope you become lifelong friends out of that experience.
Tay, if you don't mind me asking, what is your desired result for a C2 final?
Kanosuke Takeshita and Okada.
Yeah.
Smart money.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. You could throw Kyle Fletcher in there. He could maybe make an upset win out of it. I don't know, but I really do feel like the finals is coming down, at least to me, and how I think it's Okada and Takeshita. It's just the build, and it's going to be a great match, and I'm ready for it.
You got to remember though that you're going to see the semi-finals and the final. So there's every chance that could be the semi-final.
Yeah. I
think there's more tension. I think it's more tension if it is the semifinal.
Yeah. The other thing I want to put up to, by the way, thank you for everybody reposting our debut show on YouTube. I just want to put this in perspective also. There is the monkey wrench of the Wrestle Kingdom card as well. And Konosuke is the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion right now. And I really do feel that's going to tie into the story that they're telling, because I feel like that main event is going to be for Wrestle Kingdom. I'm almost guaranteeing it's going to be the main event, because that's the biggest match that they could do for that show. And I could see them putting both belts on the line. I've been calling that for a while now, that they were probably going to do a title for title situation with that. But the issue then comes in, if the Continental title's on the line, you may want to go with Kyle Fletcher, because if you're planning on separating the title, I mean, you could still have a title for title regardless if Okada has the Continental title or not. So that's kind of the monkey wrench in the situation here. So
yeah, no, I get it. I would be fine with Kyle Fletcher winning it too. I mean,
yeah.
I love Kyle Fletcher. Also, he's Sky Blue adjacent. They're dating, so like I gotta cheer for the man.
This is fair.
Sky Blue adjacent.
A win for Kyle Fletcher is more money in Sky Blue's purse. Let's go.
Exactly.
Exactly. Ryan, you were gonna say earlier.
So this thing, as I alluded to earlier, if this match is a semifinal and not a final, I feel like there's even more emotional stake, because not only has our expectation been curbed, now is Okada going to do it? And if Okada is vested in the semifinal, does Okada risk punishment?
Yeah.
By costing the winner the Continental Classic? Exactly. Now, in canon, in AEW canon, this is only the third time, okay, a Continental Classic has taken place. No one is allowed to interfere in anything. It is at risk of suspension, termination, very strict fines. I don't think Don Callis' family cares too much. DCF over half the roster is DCF, it feels like.
Yeah, really.
All right.
It's becoming Bobby Heenan.
It's been, but that's what it is. It's a Bobby Heenan tribute, not a Dangerous Alliance, not in anything else. But I would be curious if I did not go down the path, or I find it curious to just do this. If we go down the path of Okada, Fletcher, or Okada, Takeshita in the final, okay, or semifinal, the IWGP Heavyweight Champion wins in the semifinal. Konosuke Takeshita upsets Okada, right? Yeah. Okada costs Takeshita the final, and we have a new Continental Champion. Okada will still be the international champion based off of what I understand is going on.
Yeah, that's kind of logic on everything. Yeah.
So he will still have a title to put up against a title for a title for title scenario, a goading of the championship for another match at a Revolution, because right now everybody's busy at Wrestle Kingdom already.
Stampede is in the comments right now, and he just said he just came up with a great name for a podcast for Ass Soto and Tay. The only issue with that is I believe Soto goes by he, him. So I believe they are he. if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Is that correct? Yes. So,
we do not
there goes
we
one
do
guy.
not misgender intentionally
Yeah.
by any means. I just want to make that perfectly clear. Try to respect everybody's pronouns as best as we can.
Yes, indeed.
But
indeed.
Okada,
Ash, if you want to join with us, you could join. Join the Discord, guys. What were you saying, Ron? Sorry.
But Okada, Takeshita, there's just so much here, and I believe everybody has them favorited as the finals for this. I think it's too obvious.
Yep.
I think that is too obvious because this C2 is a tale of two civil wars that are taking place right now. And I don't think the winner of the C2 is going to represent the DCF nor the Death Riders. Because this is flooded with DCF and Death Rider members. So I believe that Kevin Knight or Darby Allin could very well become the winner of the Continental Classic. Speedball Mike Bailey. Is he in this? I think he's in this. Yes.
Is he in this?
So
I think he is. Could be wrong.
I feel like there's going to be an upset winner, and it's not going to be something that is as predictable as this. When you look at the other tournament that this compares to in professional wrestling's landscape, which is the G1, what you get for winning the G1 is a championship opportunity when you want, but it typically is cashed in at Wrestle Kingdom for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship currently, right? And that has already been cashed in on by Takeshita this year, who is now the defending champion.
Yeah.
I don't see the C2 and the G1 in the same capacity. I feel like a much younger person who needs this win is going to win this tournament this year. And everybody else, their storylines have already written. So we'll see how it goes. I just don't know how it's going to play out 1-1.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is very fair. Hannibal, you wanted to say something real quick, and then we'll go to the call.
No, move on.
All right, fair. Let's go to. We're gonna try Abel one more time. Abel, are you back, brother? Are you with us? Abel, you can unmute, by the way. Hello, my friend.
Can you hear me?
There he is.
Hey, everyone. I hope everyone is good. This is like the first time we're trying Tism here, to my knowledge.
Yes.
Hope everybody's well.
Thank you, brother.
No, absolutely. Just listening in for now. I don't really have much to say, but I appreciate you shouting me out. Hope everyone is well.
Yeah, man. Of course. I mean, you're one of the regulars, so it was good to see you in here. Good to have you listening, if nothing else. Carlos, what's going on, brother? How are you doing? Carlos going once.
Good. I'm good. I want to thank Hannibal for getting this Stranger Things Upside Down World sponsorship. Get her in the dark. Good one, yeah.
Well, Netflix is a tricky customer, but I managed it.
Yeah, he managed it. By the way, I assume you're watching the stream also, Carlos, when you got on here, right? So you can hear him.
I was hearing you guys. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right,
I just have the stream on. I just have it on. I'm just streaming right now.
Yeah,
I'm not streaming. I'm just in that Discord now.
That's what I figured. Okay. What are your thoughts on the C2, real quick? Might as well get everybody's thoughts on the C2. Seems to be the topic of
I like it. I just wish Foxy wasn't in there, but again, I'll be patient. But I'm really glad for Claudio. I like Kevin Knight. I mean, it's fun. I mean, it gives us something to do, especially with WWE being like this is like their I don't give a fuck time, which is kind of all the time for them lately. But it's nice to say. It's nice.
When is it? Yeah, it's nice time. Like dead ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on.
I feel you. Like no, but I mean, no PL leader now. They move Royal Rumble back because they're trying to get money. They just try to get as much money as they can. So I'm just grateful that there's more options. That it makes it fun. Again, like wrestling helps with my mental health a lot. So just having something to tune in into every week, I just appreciate the new programming, the fun programming. It's a fun time, and it's I like things. I applaud people trying things that are different. I just think he should have maybe renamed it because I think Tony is such a traditionalist that he wants to keep the name Continental Classics. And now he's kind of fucked up the lineage of the titles. But he's Tony Khan. I forgive him. Other than that, though, I think the thing with the titles is kind of funky. But he's a traditionalist. He wants to keep the name. So other than that, though, I like all the pull in it. It's going to be a fun ride, and I'm looking forward to it.
Fair news. Well, good to hear from the Carlos.
I have a suggestion for Taylor's podcast name.
All right, what's the suggestion?
The Elite Pilled Podcast.
Ah! Yep.
I got one.
Oh, Dev got one. Okay, Dev, go ahead.
Between Tay Ferns.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I got it.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Fair play, Dev. Fair play.
That is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Let's go to Grumpy real quick. Grumpy, what do you think of the C2 this year? If you can hear us,
and have your dogs finished going to the toilet?
And yes, have your dogs finish going to the toilet.
Yes, all the toileting has been had. They took their sweet ass time, and it's raining, and it's 30-something degrees outside, so it was not fun.
Jesus, I'm sure it wasn't.
But forgive me, I'm in the middle of preparing dinner. What was the question?
What do you?
I just heard my name, and I'm like, be listening.
What do you think of the C2 this year?
Man, the field is crazy. There's like you could fantasy book this out any number of ways. Personally, this year, I mean, I think Claudio, they made a point to say this is Claudio's third year in it. He's competed in it every year, right? I think. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
I would love to see Claudio run away with it. I'm not sure what kind of implications that would have for the Death Riders, but I would love to see Claudio run away with it and get a major singles title in the company. To my knowledge, he hasn't held a title has he?
He hasn't held a AEW singles championship, but he has been the Ring of Honor World Champion.
Yeah.
I think the big gold belt would look greater than Claudio's waist.
Just on that, I saw somebody the other day say, Claudio won the Ring of Honor title. Not that anyone would remember that anyway. And I'm like, he won it in his debut match.
Yeah.
How could you forget that?
Yeah.
Well, you have
Eddie was great too. So yeah. But as far as like an AEW title, all he's had is the trios, which now shame on me for forgetting that, but
he did have the Ring of Honor and title, didn't he?
Yeah, but we're just talking about like AEW main.
Yeah. I think it's just been trios, yeah. The trios.
From a legal standpoint, Ring of Honor.
I mean, they're still and the AEW ones are gold,
Grumpy,
there's kind of a hierarchy there.
Grumpy's trying to say something.
Dev's rubbing off on you. You're trying to keep the balls down.
It's fine.
Dev is running off on you.
It's fine. It's the first show. We'll be all right. Ryan,
as it should.
From a legal standpoint, there's nothing that connects the Ring of Honor championships to an AEW standpoint. Unlike the NXT or AAA or any other company in the WWE where, oh, look, they won this. We'll not acknowledge that history. Nothing actually connects this other than the fact that Tony Khan is the legal owner of Ring of Honor. That's it. So as far as AEW is concerned, in AEW, he has not been a singles champion.
Yeah.
So if he wins the C2, I would be happy. He's going on a tear right now. But I still think we're going to get a sleeper win this year. And this is my opinion on it.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. I mean, I'm looking for I've been enjoying the C2. I haven't seen the Collision show yet, so I'm going to try to catch myself up on that. But I've enjoyed what I've seen so far. I thought seeing Kevin Knight get a shock win over Darby was insane. It really added some unpredictability to everything, and I think it just makes the 2 hours fly by. You know, I mean, God forbid I, happen to like, some wrestling in my wrestling. Some people don't like that apparently, but I had great fucking time. I thought the show was great.
I'll honestly say I think Collision was a better show this week, and that's not the first time I've said that recently. Like, people sleep on it and people moan when important things happen on Collision. Well, people aren't watching it. Yeah, and that's why important things are happening, because they want you to watch Collision as well. And that's not. I'm not having a pop at you there, James. Obviously, I'm just saying, like, people moan that there's no reason to watch Collision, and they do stuff on Collision that you need to watch, and then people moan that they did something on Collision that you were supposed to watch. It's just Tyler's old
There's nothing going on in Collision. Yeah, nothing happens on Collision. Yes, there's plenty of shit that happened, actually. Actually, some of the best matches from last year's C2 happened on Collision.
Mm-hmm.
Shelton Benjamin and Daniel Garcia ring any bells, anybody? Just saying.
He rang a bell twice.
But yeah. So yeah. I think we just we got everybody's thoughts on that, I think. Unless, Ryan, you didn't give your thoughts. I think we went around the horn, did we? Except Dev.
Yeah.
I think Dev is yet to go.
You
Dev is
didn't
about
ask
to
for
give
my
us the
thoughts.
most.
Yeah, we got.
Dev is about to give us the most dev-filled C2 thought humanly possible. All right. What do you got, Dev?
What do you got?
Dev somewhere yeeting in the
I got
background.
Darby taking it home.
It's insane. It's insane. Insane. At least he kept it on point, to be fair.
You got Darby winning, huh? You got Darby taking the whole thing?
Dev, how many times
he was entering, I knew he was going to win it.
How many times in the middle of this tournament is Darby Allin going to stop and perform his entrance a second time during the course of the tournament?
Hopefully 3.
That depends on how many coffin drops off the ceiling he does, because you can't do that once and only, you got to have 2 coffin drops off the ceiling if you're gonna, have music twice. You got to one up the other side.
Yeah, it's fair point.
Yeah, true.
It's a fair point.
Yes, sir.
So
do we have to talk about Saturday? Because I mean, I don't know if there's anyone in the chat that wants to talk about Saturday, but I mean, if people want to talk about Saturday, you're more than welcome to.
I had a great Saturday. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I didn't have to worry about watching anything.
Yeah, me neither.
Sat back, relaxed. I went to Walmart, picked up some games.
Saturday.
Yeah, we know we can ask you. We know we can ask you, Dev.
Something that I saw about Saturday.
Yes, go for it, Abel.
So everyone's talking about Jey Uso and him cheating. I can't say it. Him cheating in the middle of a War Games match, and they want to compare it. Fucking Ryan. They want to compare it to, and some people online are using the comparison of AEW Anarchy in the Arena at Double or Nothing, where they play, I think it was Mum Bop and Let the Bodies Hit the Floor in the middle of Anarchy in the Arena. That's their comparison.
Come on.
What do you guys think? Do you think it's fair comparison, or do you think it's like it's nothing?
No,
of course it's not.
It's not a fair comparison at all. Come on.
Here's my issue. Here's my big issue with the Jey Uso thing. I appreciate it's not for me, right? So I know immediately, the whole Yeet thing, I don't vibe with it, whatever. But this is my issue. It's a War Games match. War Games, Survivor Series, cage matches, whatever you want to say, right? When you're doing a War Games match, it's a war. The reason you're having that match is because you know what? We've exercised all options. There's been singles matches, there's been tag matches, there's been interference. The only way we can settle this is in a cage that people can't just walk in and out of, and it's going to get bloody, and it's going to get messy, and it's going to get violent, and it's going to get intense, and that is how we end the war. We have this War Games match, and halfway through, it just turns into a comedy spot. That's my big issue with it, is the fact that, and look, I will say this as well, Blood and Guts and War Games Survivor Series, I think the lead up to both, the build to all of those matches was lackluster for the most part. You know, there was very little stories. When we've seen War Games and when we've seen Blood and Guts in previous years, there's been a real reason to have those matches. It did feel very much with both companies, I'm going to call it as I see it, that they both turned around and went, we haven't had one of these this year. We know people like these matches, so let's get about sorting that out. So I appreciate that, you know, especially the one we had on Saturday, you know, the feud didn't really warrant it. And so it wasn't the same kind of war aspect, you know, the end of all things that it normally would be. Yeah. It's still a War Games match. Treat it like a War Games match.
Exactly.
Don't throw your comedy in there.
Yeah. Ryan, go ahead.
So this is one of those things where I don't know what Grifter said this. You gotta make the gimmick work for you, not work for the gimmick. I don't know, Bully Ray something or other. WWE, AEW is in this position where WWE more so than AEW. I find this to be accurate because if it's a Blood and Guts themed Dynamite, then of course you're going to get a Blood and Guts themed show, right? You're not guaranteed to get a steel cage match. You're not guaranteed to get a Anarchy in the Arena or a stadium. If we are doing a stadium show, you are getting Stadium Stampede. Okay, that will happen. All right, but it's not necessarily confirmed to happen at every single one of those because you can sacrifice or substitute a Stadium Stampede for an Anarchy in the Arena or otherwise. Okay, WWE, I don't know, in about 2008 started doing themed pay-per-views and started sacrificing all build up the story to those pay-per-views and just doing the matches for the sake of doing the match and getting it out of the way. WWE had Fatal 4-Way. WWE had a submission or I Quit themed pay-per-view called Breaking Point. Man, I'm digging out of the well for that one. TLC.
What was Great Balls of Fire again?
Great Balls of Fire was, weirdly enough, not a themed pay-per-view. It was just a really stupid name. But I digress.
You should set your opponent's balls on fire.
Okay, like we there should have been absolutely a Ring of Fire match on the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view. Okay, thematically because of how they name their events and how they push their events through. I'm not a fan of it. It's taken away the Hell in a Cell. They did Hell in a Cell for years, and and it lost all meaning to the point where even now, when I see one, it's lost its meaning because you want to know what we do now? You know what we do with Hell in a Cell now? We do it at Bad Blood now.
Yeah.
Okay. Which traditionally there always was a Hell in a Cell match at the Bad Blood in your houses. Fun fact: do you guys know how long it was between the first Hell in a Cell match and the second Hell in a Cell match?
Yeah, I can tell you that. It would have been about 8 months, 7-8 months.
You could have been conceived at Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood in your house, 97.
Yeah.
And been prematured birth by the point in time the second one came around and saw that. Okay? My point is this, right? You need to let events breathe. You need to have matches breathe. You need to have proper build to them. I do think the build to Blood and Guts this year felt rather forced. I felt the natural build for Blood and Guts this year built to that lights out steel cage match at Forbidden Door. Did that happen at Forbidden Door?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So, like, I did not feel we needed it. But at the promise, like, AEW lost on the build to this match. But on the delivery on something that was not promised, basically, they delivered everything. WWE does steel cage matches for the sake of doing them. It's called War Games. We're just doing them for the sake of it at this point. There was a traditional Survivor Series match on the SmackDown before, and it'd be weird if there was a pay-per-view that we are supposed to do traditional Survivor Series matches for.
Yeah, that's...
Why was it on SmackDown? Why didn't we have it on SmackDown? So it's just like, I'm at the point now. This is one of those things when Triple H first took control of the main roster, he said that the Hell in a Cell theme pay-per-view was dead, and I believed him, and it felt dead to me. And I'm at that point for War Games. I never want to see a War Games match ever again. Unlike Money in the Bank, unlike Royal Rumble, these are events that we have that build to something else. These are cornerstones. These are fixtures. This is just, here's the race, run it, just do whatever. I don't care. Figure it out.
Well, there's one more that I think, you know, does actually serve a purpose, and I actually think it's one of the better placed and themed shows, and that's Elimination Chamber. Because what you tend to get now is the winner of the Royal Rumble gets to,
they turned Elimination Chamber into a second Rumble.
Yeah, but it's a completely different match. But yeah, you still get the same prize at the end. But the Elimination Chamber match is a very unique match, and I think serves a really good purpose. Like everyone's against each other, but there's only like 6 people in a Elimination Chamber, 8 people. I can't remember the numbers. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's that to me seems like something you can.
6 people.
Okay, that you can do on a repeated basis.
Could be upwards of 8. I've seen chambers already with more than 6 people in it.
But it serves a purpose. It serves a point. War Games doesn't for me.
Yeah. The other thing too is, and this has been my thing, is why can't they just have multiple types of stipulation matches on a Survivor Series? Like, I can't take credit for all the idea because JJ gave me the idea, but like it makes sense, right? Like, why not have a Survivor Series match? Why not have, a tournament of death, stuff like that? Just bring all the gimmicks to celebrate Survivor Series. Like, I don't get why you just have to stick with War Games and why it has to be for both the men and the women. You know what I mean? Like, maybe the women's is better. And then maybe the men's is better. I don't know. Like that, then you could go and do the War Games, but to me, it makes no sense.
When Seth Rollins went down with injury last month, they should have just did a Deadly Games tournament. Okay? Yeah. Ignore all the other gimmicks, okay? If you do all the other gimmicks, and this is the thing why, and I'm not meaning to disrespect JJ in any capacity. That's doing them all for the sake of fucking doing them is why we're in this position in the first place.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Okay,
you can't book a War Games match, with 10 people in it, 4 people, 8 people in it, to make sense, and then you want to do like a traditional Survivor Series elimination match, and like. You need the stories, you need the rivalries, you need the reason for them to exist. You can't just put them out there for the sake of and this is what happened. We've got a pay-per-view, we need to do stuff.
I don't know. Just an idea.
My point is this, okay? Survivor Series is the dead member of the Big Four, okay? This year was finally treated as a Big Four pay-per-view, I felt, for the first time in probably decades, and that's simply just because it looked like a Big Four pay-per-view. It looked like a stadium show, all right? It was, technically speaking, a stadium show. They fit 40,000 people in that, all right? and I saw where someone paid $900 to look at a television screen, which is funny.
Sure.
But I digress. Point, right? Can't verify that person was actually paid $900. This is their story. Is what it is. But I can't imagine paying $900 and looking at a TV screen for the event. But it is what it is. Deadly Games, a Deadly Games tournament for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship would have been cool, especially if we're doing a mystery man angle, anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy about that, and that we will use that to build to something here in a minute.
Yeah.
But Deadly Games is what I would have preferred. WWE at this point doesn't even understand the concept of War Games.
No.
War Games did traditionally happen at Fall Brawl. Okay? But it wasn't the only place. Like, they would bring up the War Games match all the time back in the day. Like, there was entire Great American Bash tours that had War Games matches featured on it.
Right.
So, like, it's just part of it. At this stage, you know, the only WCW idea that we haven't ripped off yet is the World War III Battle Royal.
Yeah.
You've also got the Cage of Doom, the triple cage match.
Okay, War Games 2000 is something I would like to see once more. Okay, the Ready to Rumble,
the triple cage aspect.
The Ready to Rumble cage match is something I like, but you know I understand why we don't. It's a match that doesn't functionally work because we don't know what rule set we want to use here. I would use it as a ladder match. You know, a convoluted ladder match where two people struggle to climb to the top and retrieve the belt. What I don't like about it is as a War Games match, it doesn't work. But I digress. Point. Is what it is.
Yeah, we do have people waiting in here, so I is going to go to. I do see we have some new people, so we'll go to the collective heads. We'll start with Slick. Good to see you back in here, big man. What do you think of the discussion as far as Survivor Series goes? Do you think they should retire War Games altogether?
So, like, I think the shtick and like the fun of what War Games once was is no longer like there. You know, because it was like this old school kind of thing, this WCW thing, right? And it felt really so when they brought it back to NXT a couple of years ago, there was something about it. It was like, oh man, what a double, you know, 2 rings in WWE. They've never really done anything like this. This was really cool.
Yeah.
But like it's really just a glorified Hell in a Cell match, you know, when you think about it. So I think they should do away with it. I personally miss the traditional Survivor Series 5-on-5 match. I would much rather that.
Yeah. I think if they do it at a Survivor Series, it shouldn't just be specifically for Survivor Series.
No. I think if anything, I think if you're going to do that's the thing. WWE tends to take their gimmicks and make them into like whole themes and whole motifs.
Yeah, which is
I think you should. You should be able to do you should be able to do a War Games match and it not have to be Survivor Series.
Yeah, you mentioned Ryan earlier, like Money in the Bank and how great it is. I personally liked it better when it was just a part of WrestleMania because it made the match feel special. You know,
ultimately, what replaced Money in the Bank at WrestleMania? The Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it sucks. It sucks.
And that's not even on WrestleMania anymore. That's on the SmackDown before now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, I thought, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to do these gimmick matches, don't make them specifically for pay-per-views. Just, you know, add them throughout the year. Make sure the story makes sense to do it. You know, Money in the Banks, I like great pay-per-view concept, but it doesn't need to be a pay-per-view. Just put it on WrestleMania. It's way more special as a WrestleMania attraction than it is as its own pay-per-view. That to me is just how I see it. We also have Graps in here, so we'll go to Graps. Then we'll go to I think we got Moonlight in here, and then we got Caleb in here.
Yeah. So I'm kind of in the same boat, right? Where, and I think this is more of an across the board thing, and the War Games match is just another stipulation that has, become victim to it.
Yeah.
Matches mean less when they're done every year at a designated event that also happens to have the match stipulation in its name,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Remember when Fatal 4-Way was the pay-per-view?
God. I cringe thinking about it, dude.
But the more apt comparison is when Hell in a Cell was a pay-per-view, and there had to be a Hell in a Cell match every year at the Hell in a Cell
Yeah.
pay-per-view, because the thing with War Games and Hell in a Cell that they have a lot in common is that they are stipulations that are best done as the resolution to a heated program.
Yep.
And the War Games match is now being used as, oh, this is going to happen every year. Whereas 4 to 5 guys and 4 to 5, 8 to 10 guys, 8 to 10 girls that we could get together for these matches to do every year because, that's how we're going to sell this pay-per-view, right? And the thing is, AEW is guilty of it too, right?
Yeah.
I'm not getting the Tony Khan shacks from Jacksonville. Blood and Guts happens as an event every year, and there are times where it's felt like they just needed to get people together for a program that may or may not be underwhelming. They've had great ones. They've had ones that, the matches are good, but sometimes the program might feel a little underwhelming.
Right.
And
to be fair, I think it's only this year that's I would say the previous Blood and Guts, they all were telling a story. They all had something that was kind of like building up for a while. This year,
but it's the idea of if you're doing this event year in, year out for what's this they've done it every year since 2020 now.
To be fair, they did do it later this year though, because in the past it would be like 2 weeks after Double or Nothing.
It was Blood and Guts still on the Blood and Guts Dynamite.
Yeah,
regardless of whether it was in May, October, July, or June.
It's a TV special in this regard that is not at a predetermined time of the year. That's where it is. Like,
yeah,
I got the sentiment. Like, I hate matches taking place on a preordained spot. We're doing them for the sake of doing them. I get what Grab's saying.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. Like me personally, I'm just saying if they were going to do it, they should have done it on full gear. Is it 100% biased for me having purchased a ticket? Yes, but regardless.
I think, in my opinion, they should have just did Blood and Guts at Forbidden Door, where they had a Blood and Guts match without calling it a Blood and Guts match. Yeah. They just did it with one ring and one really big cage.
No, but Kate Kidd was in, so they used the word. Bro. I'm a bad man, bro.
Well, if we're talking about matches that had the build, the Forbidden Door Lights Out Cage match had the build of a Blood and Guts match. We just did not do a Blood and Guts match. And I understand giving the women their time to shine, because everybody wanted a women's Blood and Guts, so much to the point where people were gaslighting themselves into making it a necessity. And I don't really think that the women's Blood and Guts match had a great build to lead into it either. But injuries happened, removing people from the storyline, which prevented them from being there, right? But ultimately, it just is what it is, man. The build up to the matches themselves should have been better. But what the product that was delivered, the Blood and Guts delivered on a promise of nothing. Yeah. We were not guaranteed a great story going into that. We were given a great match either way.
Sure.
Whereas the one where we have a year's worth of build to, because we do them every year, they take place here. We didn't really do a great job at building to War Games at all.
No.
To the point where it's just the highlights, the best of, What is EO going to do with the trash
And
can this year?
one of them is Yeet Man being doing Yeet things. I mean, like, Jesus Christ. Like, you know.
I will say, save Dominic Mysterio and John Cena, I don't think anything delivered as far as Survivor Series is concerned.
Yeah.
I think John Cena and Dom did deliver on what they were supposed to do. So that is something positive.
I mean, I had grievances with that match as well.
Did they? Because I've heard people calling it a worst match of the year contender.
Really?
No, it's not a worst match of the year contender, but
I've seen. I was about to say I've seen worse matches this year. I think.
I've seen probably worse Cena matches this year as well. I mean, I don't think it was very
Could
good.
have been that one spot that was done in poor taste that left a bad impression on people. But
yeah,
it was super suspenseful. It was pretty good. No replay value, but
yeah, this is
a good one.
My problem with the match was just the fact there was just so much interference. That was my issue with it. It wasn't
the typical Dom match that tends to happen all the time. Yeah,
I'm a Death Rider fan. I have nothing to say.
The women interfered, then the men interfered, then Liv interfered. Like, do you know what I mean? It was like, yeah, everyone had to come out and interfere, and that's why Cena lost. Like, I saw people say, "Oh, they made Cena look really weak," and I was like, "Why?" He got finishes from 2 women. He, got attacked by, 2 other members of Judgment Day, and then it took Liv Morgan kicking him in the balls, smacking him with a belt to, let Dom get the advantage. Like, if anything, it was Super Cena because none of that stuff put him down.
Yeah.
It was all of it together. It wasn't very good, but good if you liked it. But you can't turn around and say a match with like that much overbooking delivered.
No,
well, that's what I expect out of Let's Beat John Cena matches.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say this. What I didn't like about it is the continuity error that was dropped here. Because I remember Liv Morgan having heat with the Judgment Day when she got injured and being written off TV. And we're just going to ignore that. We're going to move past it. We're going to do literally anything else. But it is what it is. And we move forward. WWE thinks we have the memories of Goldfish. And while I am the WrestleFish, I like to think I remember further back.
Yes, this is fair. Let's go to Moonlight Mirage, and then we'll go to Caleb. Moonlight, you're on the air. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Hi. Now, I mostly keep track with WWE. I've told James many times. Yes. I don't really want to watch it much, but I'll find the opportunities when I can. For example, the Ilya Dragunov U.S. Open challenges, the Sami Zayn ones that happened before. First of all, I'm glad Dragunov's back. But I do want to go back to War Games. We were talking about John Cena and Dominic Mysterio. And yeah, honestly, it was whatever. But yeah, it was heavily overbooked. I do know it was heavily overbooked. You have Raquel and Roxanne, and you have just Judgment Day interference. It's like Bloodline from like 2023 all over again. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I feel like I don't know. I doubt it actually happened during the actual show, but Liv Morgan, maybe coming back. Roxanne's trying to help Dominic. Liv Morgan comes in around the same time. And yeah, Dominic gets his IC Intercontinental title back. But now you also can have a stare down between Liv and Roxanne. Because I know Roxanne is the one that Liv really doesn't like. Even Raquel, I even remember Raquel.
I thought Raquel
hesitant.
Well, Raquel liked her, didn't she?
I think she's a little hesitant to accept her at first.
Yeah,
and then she started getting in sync with Roxanne.
Yeah. So I'm like,
and maybe you force Raquel to choose a side. She works well with Liv. She works well with Roxanne, but she, maybe she's being forced to choose a side. I don't know. But that would have been nice. to have, but kudos to John Cena. He is doing his best in this absolute train wreck of a retirement tour.
I'm glad you said it because, like, okay, I think if it
it's gone ever since the heel turn at Elimination Chamber, and he became face again at SummerSlam, but ever since Elimination Chamber, it's just been downhill.
Just to establish to the people, to the viewing audience, like, Moonlight is probably one of the bigger WWE heads that we have in the cord. You know, other than Dev, obviously we know is the biggest. No offense, Dev.
I'm not the biggest.
But
Dev gets cheese platters from Connecticut.
Oh no, my history went on these talk shows. It goes all the way back to Naomi and Sasha Banks walking out.
Yeah, true. That's fair. Like, and I know, like, as in, like, you watch the product more than we do. So I feel like if we, said that, I feel like there would be a bias there. But the fact that you said that Cena's run has been fucking fumbled, like, I'm glad you said it and not us, because I feel like it just comes off as biased if we say it. But I feel like how many times have we said that, Ryan, that this has been bungled at this point?
I would say I'm more medium than the biggest.
You are. I just want to take this before we pass it back off to Moonlight here. I was not a WWE hater in February.
Right.
I was not a WWE hater this year until about WrestleMania. This is when my goodwill for Paul Levesque in the creative chair was completely burned out. And it's not because of anything, really, but John Cena, you have the biggest heel turn since Hogan.
Yes.
And everybody will go to blame The Rock for how bad this run was done, because The Rock interfered. The Rock inserted himself into this creative plan.
Mind you, The Rock was the one who actually came up with the fucking heel turn with Brian Gewirtz. And it was one of the best run things. Or was that him?
Stop. Time out. Hold up.
Was that wrong? I thought
Hold up. Rock did not say, let's turn John Cena heel.
That's true. Triple H did.
Triple H said, let's turn John Cena heel. Rock's idea was, Cody Rhodes, I want you to turn heel. And Cody Rhodes, bear this in mind, turned it down. He did not want to do this. The Rock is a board member of this company. He is your boss. He told you, I want you to turn heel. Cody Rhodes did not want to turn heel. Triple H did not want to turn Cody Rhodes heel. Everybody has this notion for what they want or what they want out of Cody Rhodes. The American Nightmare at face value is a heel. But we're going to blame The Rock for fumbling this ball when it wasn't even his idea in the first place.
Besides which, anyway, I'm sorry, but the Rock isn't writing the storylines. He's not head of creative. The buck stops with Paul.
Yeah. So you have the biggest heel turn of all time, quote unquote. When it happened, I thought it was just as big as Hogan. I didn't see it happening because I believed that John Cena would never turn heel, and then it happened. We saw that look, that facial change, the heel turn itself, goosebumps. Everything that followed, boring, bad booking, bad creative. Why do we even send Travis Scott out to the ring? You knew you didn't have The Rock. Couldn't John Cena just cheated the win without Travis Scott? So, I'm off my horse. I yield back.
Land that plane.
If Moonlight would like to continue her point because I kind of, ran wild with that.
Yeah, I do remember between Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania, I remember every show basically like open with like a John Cena and Cody Rhodes exchange or something like that. But I was about to get to WrestleMania. Hey, The Rock. I know he eventually got involved. I mean, obviously he's not the one who came up with the John Cena heel idea, but you can tell he did at least go along with it because he gave the signal at Elimination Chamber at the end. And it would have been nice to have The Rock be the one.
Let me clarify. Let me clarify that for a second, Moonlight, because what I meant by that, and Ryan is 100% right. It was not The Rock's idea for
right. No, that's not what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying
however,
to get
The Rock
interference.
Yeah,
at WrestleMania.
Yes, exactly. And The Rock, by the way, was the one who came up with the actual writing for the heel turn itself. Once, all right, we're gonna go with Cena.
I also want to say, I kind of wish Triple H had listened to The Rock in the first place. I mean, Cody Rhodes is the American nightmare. That has a negative connotation to it.
Yeah, but
Cody, absolutely.
Cody
John Cena
turned
gave
it down.
the hero of his final big story.
This is where I have to agree with Hannibal. Cody turned it down, and he shouldn't have. And he should have listened to the fucking guy upstairs. In this case, it would have been The Rock. And I'm a Cody fan, and I can admit that, by the way.
But also the other thing as well with The Rock, you got to remember the reason why he was at Elimination Chamber in the first place is because they asked him to be at Elimination Chamber. Like that show was not selling well. They were doing poor. The Rock's turned around and said it himself, but I saw the ticket sales before The Rock was announced and post The Rock was announced, and they shifted a hell of a lot more tickets. They asked him to be on that show, so therefore he had to be involved in that show, and that's what they did. The fact that they knew The Rock wasn't going to be available to do Mania, that he wasn't going to be able to do stuff past Elimination Chamber in any great capacity, that's on them.
Yep.
So
I didn't actually pay attention to like the bad sales and having to need to get The Rock invite actually to show up at Elimination Chamber, and then he wouldn't be available. I actually didn't really know too much about that part.
To be fair though, that story also came from The Rock. So it's not even just like, oh, if you like, because I don't like paying attention to ticket sales. I was just aware of it. But The Rock actually, it was on Logan Paul's show. No,
Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee. I knew it was a blonde haired tosser that I don't like. But The Rock was on that show. And he actually, the irony of that was he wasn't at Mania, but he was on Pat McAfee's show on the Tuesday after Mania. And he told that story. And if I remember correctly, it was Ari Emanuel who called The Rock and said, "We need you to be at Elimination Chamber."
Yes. Yeah, that was an Ari Emanuel call. Graps, you wanted to jump in and talk about
I also had one more thing I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, we'll get back to you, Moonlight. Just I wanted to let Graps interject real quick. Go ahead, Graps, and then we'll go back to Moonlight.
There was one little nugget in this conversation that I forget who it was dropped, and it was the idea that Cody Rhodes needed to turn heel. And I could not disagree more.
Really?
I think, yes, because you look at the landscape of that roster, who slots in as your number one full-time babyface? Full-time.
Oh, yeah. No, that is the issue.
I know.
I feel like I know who it would be.
It's the man who just ran back his entrance in the middle of War Games. The man who wants to be known as, I'm not just an entrance.
Yeah.
That's your top babyface that has to work with the top heels. Because Roman's only there for what, four big shows?
If that.
And You saw how fans were feeling towards the end of that reign with his lack of full-time availability. And it's already a heel-heavy roster to begin with.
Yeah.
So why would you jeopardize the guy who probably sells the most merchandise, is probably the most liked guy among their general audience at that time, that's going to be there week in, week out for however many years?
Ryan,
you wouldn't jeopardize that.
Ryan, you have
at that
rebut?
point.
You have a
That
rebut?
does make sense.
I have to rebut. The biggest merch seller in the history of professional wrestling is Hulk Hogan, not red and yellow.
True.
People want baby faces, people want heroes, but people need villains. And the American Nightmare,
But
top
also
to bottom,
the WCW roster. It was set up to counter a heel Hogan.
That's also fair.
You had baby faces that could step up, that were great with merchandise, great with the in-ring, good with promos. WWE was not set up for a Cody heel turn.
That's fair. That's fair. I could see it either way.
whose fault is that? Time out. Whose fault is that?
That's Hunter's.
Never said it wasn't his, but
So
if you had turned him heel in that landscape, it would have made the problems worse.
He is.
It'd still be Hunter's.
It would still be Hunter's. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I tend to agree with that. So it was better to be safe than sorry is basically what Grabs is saying. Moonlight, real quick.
Okay.
Ask your question, and then we got to land that plane so we can go to Caleb.
Okay. Last thing I want to talk about here, John Cena's Time Is Now tournament. Because what is going on with this tournament?
This tournament.
Why?
God damn.
First of all, why are semifinalists Jey Uso, LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Gunther? Second of all, why is there only one guy from NXT and he lost in the first round? Like, kudos to Javon Evans. But you have Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, Miles Bourne, Noam Dar, Obafemi. You even have Jackson Drake over there from Evolve. He's pretty big. Austin Theory on the main roster. You could do more with him. Grayson Waller. Hey, Mello was in the bracket
Major sneak.
round too, but
Major sneak.
Yeah.
John Cena, I've heard one of John Cena's wishes was to be able to put a young talent over in his final match.
Well, to be fair, Gunther is under 40, so technically, in today's landscape, he's a young whippersnapper. So,
I don't mind Gunther winning this tournament, but I still would have appreciated someone that was on the younger side, someone that was very up and coming or still very young.
But again, I hear it, Moonlight. We got to land that plane, but I do.
Oh, so one more thing.
Wait.
The Miz should not have been slotted against LA Knight.
No, Moonlight. We got to move on. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I got to move on to the next person.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I agree with you though. God, this tournament's been handled like a bag of dicks. It's
the entire last year has been handled horribly.
Yeah, it's not been great.
And besides which, some people would like a bag of dicks. Don't turn around and compare it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I apologize to the people who would like a bag of dicks.
Yeah.
40 is the new 20, you guys. Don't forget that.
Yeah, exactly. Them.
All right, Paul.
Was that my cue? I'm sorry about this.
Oh God!
All right. Let's go to Caleb. We got Caleb. Sorry, thank you for being extremely patient, brother. You're on the air, and then we'll go to.
Yeah, no problem. And I want to say that I'm happy that Liv Morgan back, but the Survivor Game Warfare was not that good. I've seen Blood and God were much better. The women Blood and God were more violent and more, Yep, and the men were much better than the men War Series. That ending should not been that at the ending, and the tournament is not that good this year. The John Cena last match.
Did you like the Dominic Mysterio John Cena match though itself, or?
I did like it. That one was good. And that one is definitely good. And John Cena last tournament is not that good this year. added some guy from NXT or from TNA, some other guy other than Devon Evans.
You mean you didn't want to see the Miz in there twice? Fair enough.
Fucking Miz.
The only thing I'm going to add to this.
By the way, am I the only one that thinks that? Yeah, go ahead.
The only thing I'm going to add to this.
I think I'm on a delay.
The last thing I'm going to add on the John Cena last time is now tournament is I don't care about the contestants at this point. It is what it is. I'm more curious of if you knew that this was going to be how you're going to do it in the first place, right? Because I'm told that Solo Sikoa going over was the decision regardless of Penta's injury. Okay? Why is Gunther and Solo in the finals of that bracket?
Yep.
Is Gunther
don't get it
climbing the mountain? Is he climbing the MFT? That is a tree joke. See, sometimes you have to explain your jokes to everybody. They're not as funny to everybody else when you have to explain them.
A mountain full of Tongans.
Yeah, mountains full of Tongans is.
By the way, Tongans are not Samoans, everybody. They're not. They're not even distantly close. But I digress. Point. Are we building up Gunther as the sympathetic babyface against the Tongan, tree, the My Family tree, the Solo plus everybody else?
I don't know. Probably.
And by the way, I'm pretty sure Jeff Cobb's not Tongan either. So I don't know. I'm confused.
He's not. He's from Guam.
He's from Guam. I think he's a little Filipino. Born in Hawaii.
I heard he was from the Red Dead Island of Guarma.
Either way, the last time his now tournament has been booked atrociously, and if Dominic Mysterio going over on John Cena says anything, John Cena is actually not going to put over Gunther on his way out of this tournament.
There is one good thing. There is one other good thing. This tournament is called The Last Time Is Now, and it will be the last time we had this tournament. So we won't have to worry about this next year where we can talk about how badly it's been booked again. This is it. It's one and done. Put it to bed.
The AJ Styles last time is now tournament. We're not going to run that next year.
Oh no! Oh, that's
the AJ Styles tournament is going to be called the Phenomenal Finish. Everybody,
the Phenomenal Finish.
Yeah. I've used that a few times.
Trademark has just been put in place.
There's going to be one clash catastrophe.
It's going to be called No, They Don't Want None.
That's what we'll call it.
They don't want no tournament.
Yeah. Man, I'm tournament that out. I'll tell you, there's been too many this year.
At the end of the day, John Cena's last run should have been infinitely better than what it was. His championship, I don't understand why we turned him heel. He could have been a babyface and won that title.
Yeah.
Give us... I said this all year. The people want John Cena as a babyface. They would have loved to have him a heel. I don't know, when we stopped running John Cena annually, 10 years ago, that was the time to turn him heel.
Mm-hmm.
We stopped running John Cena as the guy at about 31. Right?
Yeah,
and it's been about 10 years since John Cena was the undisputed king of WWE. I don't know why we didn't turn him heel back then. Let him have a run. We just ruined it. He could have been a Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah.
Never having to sully his career. I do understand at the front of his career debate, the Dr. Thugonomics character was a heel. But once he became My Time Is Now, John Cena, he never changed his character. He was that. He was that pillar. He was that foundational piece.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about Vince McMahon, and because this was a Vince issue, not a Hunter issue. It's now a Hunter issue, but it's neither here nor there. Why, if we're going to turn someone heel, not do it at the most unpredictable time? At this point, if we were going to run John Cena as a heel, it should have been done a decade ago.
Yep.
We ruined it. We sullied it. He had a limited number of dates. And in fairness, the heel turn has some highlights. The John Cena pipe bomb is one of them.
That's it for me. That and the actual turn itself.
The turn, legendary.
Yeah.
But man, it could have been the greatest heel turn of all time. It could have, if it wasn't for the fact that John Cena said, "Hey guys, I have 1 year left of this in me. We need to do something with this now. Otherwise, we're never going to do it," right?
Yeah, 100%.
They could have looked at this, turned him heel 5 years ago, and had a legendary run. There's a lot of money in a John Cena heel turn, guys. The creative just wasn't fucking there.
Nope.
But the other thing to your point, Ryan, as well, is like normally when you, well, certainly back in the day, the reason for doing something shocking on TV or a pay-per-view was to get the audience interested and you know, gain some viewership. We didn't even get that. The Cena heel turn itself, as much as, you know, there were very few people I saw were negative about the heel turn itself, but what did it amount to? They've done really well selling tickets. Like, they've sold so many tickets this year. Great business. But the TV's tanking. And on top of that, the shows where Cena hasn't been announced for have done really badly as well. So
yeah,
you kind of ruin his legacy, and for what? And I know that, you know, I appreciate that they course corrected and the last few months have been a lot better for him, right? I get that. But what I'm saying is that they had 1 year and they knew it in advance. They had 1 year left with Cena. And what have they spent that year doing? It's not been building up new stars. It's not been building up the next John Cena. He's leaving that company in, you know, 13 days' time. And it's in a state of flux because there is no successor to Cena. There is no one that's been built up to the same level. There is no one that's going to be taking that mantle. Cody was the closest. And I don't think they've done a very good job there either. My point is, if you knew that far in advance that the guy who you've pretty much been hanging the company on for most of his, you know, last 20 years is going, you use that time to build up what happens next. Because when he goes, a lot of the audience goes with him.
I have an idea. This is clearly just fantasy booking here. I just want to see what you guys thought. Retroactively, too, but I do a lot of this. John Cena turns heel at WrestleMania, gradually becomes babyface again throughout the year because organically he's a babyface. People loved him being a heel. Like they were still buying his merch, selling out.
Yes.
Like it does. Like that's also like proof that the top babyface argument's kind of invalid. Is what it is. But I will say, pertaining to this last time is now tournament, I feel like would hold a lot more weight if John Cena was the WWE champion.
Yeah.
Why did we turn him babyface when we did? I did what I wanted to do. Now this is it. The last time is now tournament. Someone gets to beat me, or someone gets to challenge me in an attempt to take this championship away from me ahead of my last date. Right?
Yeah.
Now it's telegraphed. John Cena's probably winning. And to be fair, John Cena was never walking away with this title. He was never going to walk away with the WWE Championship. But this tournament would feel like it would actually have weight.
Yeah.
Something important. Right now, it's just John Cena's last match. And bear in mind, this is not Hunter's fault. Okay? And what I'm about to say next was not Hunter's fault. But remember Baron Corbin being Kurt Angle's retirement match. What happened to Baron Corbin?
He got happy for a bit.
He was a bum, got happy. He was a bum again. He's a War Dog, or whatever the hell his tag name was.
It was War Dogs, yeah.
Or
No. You're thinking it was the Wolf Dogs.
Wolf Dogs.
Sorry, Wolf Dogs. Yeah, you're right.
Wolf Dogs. Wolf Dogs. Okay. And it's telegraphed that Gunther's gonna be the last opponent. Whether he wins or whether he loses is irrelevant. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
What are we doing for Gunther? Because being John Cena's last match should entail that we are putting stock behind Gunther versus a Braun Breaker should have been in this tournament. A young guy who's actually going to be here for the next 5 to 10 to 15. You know, you never know how long some of these guys are going to sit here in WWE. But some of them sign on for about 10 years to get released after 8. And that's how it goes. How long is Gunther going to be here for him to be the focus of this tournament? Because they've given him his old team back. They've given him his luster. Like, he feels like that prize fighter that he's supposed to be right now. What's all this for? We rebuilding him? Did we forget that he's been champion like 75% of his career? Gunther's done everything in this company. Did not need to be the fixture of this tournament. This tournament should have gone to a Braun Breaker, as I said, someone young who's going to be here for the distance, not someone has more matches behind them than they do in front of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's just like, I don't get it. But either way, big villain. Yeah. What is John Cena's big things that he does? You build up big villain for John Cena. John Cena climbs that mountain at the end of the day. Is what it is.
Yeah. The thing that annoys me about this run as well, like we're talking about, okay, his last few months, the last 6 months have been great. I'd argue the last 3. Because I know what Hannibal's saying about, okay, well, the last few months have been great for him. It's like only until he started booking it his way was it good. And then we went back to it not being his good. And even that he's made the most of. You know, because, and I stand by this, right? If Cena did not make that tweet that he wanted to fight AJ, he would not have fought AJ. I maintain that. I think there's a very good chance we don't get that match before he retires. I'm glad he did it, right? Because the match ended up, I thought the match ended up being great, but match quality here nor there. It's what Cena wants, and it feels like what Cena wants is getting pushed to the fucking wayside because of whatever. Yeah.
John Cena should have been the one booking his own creative. The Rock said John Cena was booking his own creative. We all know that wasn't the case. The Rock stepped away because this was supposed to be John Cena's last year. The story should be about John.
Yes.
Not Triple H.
But Triple H. Triple H finds himself on posters, starts his shows, interviews. Tonight's supposed to be epic, everybody. I don't know if you know that.
Is he going to be on tonight?
Is Triple H going to be on tonight or John Cena?
Triple H, if they're kicking something off, then yeah.
Like if this is supposed to be what it was last year, that tonight is the starting point of the most unpredictable time period over the course of the next X amount of days until WrestleMania. God.
Yeah, they booked this to shit, huh? Okay.
I'm at a point where I need a hard reset. And I'm not going to get that. And it just is what it is. John Cena, I love him. He was my Hulk Hogan. He was my Steve Austin. Yes. You know, I was cognitive for the entire run. I was awake for a little bit of Steve Austin in terms of as a wrestling fan. I knew what I liked, but I wasn't watching it weekly in the 90s. I was watching it weekly in 2001 post. Okay. And Rock and Austin weren't really there. By the point in time, Cena is on top in 2005. Man, I have my guy. And it just pains me as someone who loved this for as long as I have, who had seen it fumbled in the way it is. And even as someone who doesn't like supporting the WWE today, I will be watching his last match. I can't justify not watching his last match, right? But what they say in professional wrestling is no one ever retires. I don't necessarily think this is John Cena's last match. I know a lot of people believe that John Cena is a man of his word. I don't believe it because Undertaker supposedly retired. He's done things. He's still been here. He just hasn't wrestled a match yet. Shawn Michaels retired. He wrestled another match. Ric Flair retired. He wrestled several.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And to be fair, I'm not asking John Cena to do this till he's 60. I just think that maybe, just maybe, that if John really wants to give back to the fans, he should really consider another run somewhere else.
Yep.
And I'm not selling that idea. I'm not here to propagate conspiracy. But this last run has been atrocious.
Yes.
And I don't think the climate that exists is favorable to the artist.
No, not even close. And honestly, since you kind of brought it wide open, let me piggyback.
I was talking around all of that, mind you. But if you want to add on, go for it.
At this point, let's just give the fucking idea, because we said we wanted to save it for a big thing.
Well, the first episode of Tism's kind of big. Our first episode of YouTube Tism's kind of a big thing.
Epic.
Yeah, epic, as they say.
The epic. The epic.
The epic Tism. Yeah, I think Cena should go to AEW hands down.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Triple A. Here's why.
Yeah, Juan Cena, the Hannibal. That's what you want to see. You want to see Juan Cena make a return.
Look. There is no one left.
Once said, I heard TNA was hiring.
There you go. See, look, there is no one left in wrestling that can move the needle, right? There isn't. There isn't anybody. CM Punk was arguably the last person. Anyone that jumps between any of the companies now is not going to move a needle. They're not. John Cena coming into AEW, it would get people talking, certainly. But where does he fit in? John Cena has worked one style and one style alone for his whole career.
Yeah.
With the exception of
Disagree. I disagree. He's worked one style since 2008.
Yep. I would agree with that.
Before WWE went PG, he bled for this thing. He actually put an effort into his matches.
Well, yeah, but hang on, that's a different thing, because what I'm talking about is the fact that so from when he started on WWE television to when he's retiring now, right? The style hasn't changed very much. Yes, during the PG or post PG era, he wasn't, the same as he was before. But what I'm saying to you is that except for before he came into WWE system, he's not really had much experience. He's not really wrestled around. He hasn't worked strong style. He hasn't worked in Japan. He hasn't worked lucha style. He hasn't worked the British style, right? He's not a rounded individual, and there's nothing wrong with that. But let's look at how Copeland has come into AEW and what he's offered, right? It is edged by everything but his name. Everything's the same. The presentation's the same. He doesn't really fit in that ecosystem. If they were bringing him in to do a tag title run with Christian before they both rode off into the sunset, I don't think anyone would have been pissed. How pissed were we when he decided that he was going to be going for the big gold? When he was, fighting Moxley, when he was getting involved in the main event scene, purely because he had been a main eventer in WWE.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I
remember that discourse.
Yeah, I don't think, unfortunately, I don't think, as much as there'll be some novelty there, where does he fit in?
That's the thing. But in this case, it would work for him to go into the main event scene because he is the antithesis of everything AEW stands for. He would be.
It's an alternative.
Hold on.
It's an alternative.
Hold on.
Yes.
I'm not saying go for the big gold. I'm not talking about John Cena going to AEW in that sense. Hannibal is right. Not a lot of people move the needle. I do believe John Cena would move the needle because John Cena does actually increase their general viewership and ticket sales whenever he's announced on the card. We've already covered that shows that don't have John Cena on don't do well. John Cena is still a needle mover in the sense. What turned it around for WCW?
Yep.
Well, first they signed Hogan. It took a while. And then they had the NWO. All right. I'm not saying that this has to happen. This is just something that I put out a while ago. There are not a lot of coups left in signings. Okay. John Cena is the only one. The only coup that Tony Khan could have when signing someone, the only name that will actually pop interest, because unless you're already an AEW fan, you're more than likely already a smartened up fan. And every big name is just like someone that you were either already watching somewhere else because you engage in the product, or you're an extremely casual viewer and you have no knowledge. Everyone on this planet who engages in professional wrestling knows the name John Cena. And the novelty is that. That is the novelty. That is what you do with it. And there are, in terms of title divisions, there are so many singles championships in AEW. You could throw them into the world title, or better yet, you don't even bring them on as an active talent. Okay, like there's other things you can do with it. What is Big Show doing in AEW right now? He occasionally comes out, does something with random talent, maybe chokeslam somebody, and he's usually an announcer. He was an announcer when we did Dark Elevation.
To be fair,
he did wrestle. Yeah.
MJF is a talent who wrestles probably the most WWE style out of everyone there, but he also can wrestle every style. When you throw him up against someone, he does very well.
If I may,
I just don't think.
You go.
All right, I just don't think that if I am John Cena, if I am an artist, if I love this as much as I say I love this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pissed off with this final year. I'm pissed off with how I've been booked. I'm pissed off with the presentation. And I'll go up onto someone else's television program, brother.
And so, it's not like it's impossible either to what Ryan's saying. I know people don't want to think, oh well, if he's in there, it's an alternative. But it's like we got to look at the facts of the situation. He's already working with people in TBS and Warner. The whole reason he's a movie star is solely because of fucking Warner. Peacemaker, hello. He works with the Wipeout people on TBS. His best friend is fucking working there, and Bryan Danielson.
I'm not saying
signs point to it's not no. And if I'm seeing exactly what Ryan's saying, I'm pissed off at this last year. I think it's been fucking fumbled. I'd rather go somewhere, and I'm looking at how they use Sting. And I'm like, I want something like that. That's what I want for you.
Okay. I just want to clarify. Everything you said there, I agree with. I'm not saying that the people don't want him there. Right, the people in charge would love him there, right? What I'm saying is that for me as an AEW fan, and as someone that, watched AEW at the beginning because I was getting sick and tired of WWE and I wanted an alternative, the last thing I want is the man who is Mr. WWE to now be in AEW. Because again, where's the alternative? Now, at the same time, you're absolutely spot on about what they did with Sting. Like, I think everybody should have watched that retirement run of Sting and gone, man, I wish I got that. Exactly. And I'll be honest, when Cena announced he was retiring, we were months removed from Sting's retirement, right? So we saw how to do it right. We saw how it could be done.
And they didn't do it right.
And they fumbled it.
Yeah.
So if they did something similar for Cena, I wouldn't be that pissed. As I said, my big thing is seeing what they did with Copeland, and it failed, and to do that again because it's Cena. If they did the Sting version of that with Cena, that would be a lot more tolerable to me.
You could do a couple things with Cena. I feel like if you went back to the dude who was no nonsense and is just ready to fucking whoop ass and go heel, like, not right away, obviously. I agree with Ryan there. I think you gotta wait a bit. But if AEW could do what WWE didn't do and capitalize on a better Cena heel run, I think that's much better. And I don't think it's improbable. There's plenty of talent that they have in AEW that they could build Cena around. That could be the next generation that can, like, usurp him, and then he can go back to being a baby and feud with one of those talents. Like, it's not impossible. I think he should. If I'm an artist like Cena, to Ryan's point, I'm pissed at how they did my retirement year. I want a do-over. I'm going here where they actually are going to fucking respect me and not have politics get in the way.
But see, Goldberg is now saying the same thing. I saw Goldberg a few days ago say, I've got one more in the tank.
I mean, it would be on TBS. If he did like
Goldberg, with respect, Goldberg is infinitely more likely than John Cena for all of the respect that we give TBS and the homage to WCW. I can see that.
Exactly.
I just pitched this as a wouldn't this be wild type of thing. There's only one other coup, and that's Cody Rhodes, mind you. Okay.
Right, exactly, Shane O'Mac.
Oh God. The best in the world, Shane O'Mac.
Let's not go back to those days where we were thinking, is Shane coming in? I don't know.
This is just speculation. This is fan theory. This is just three people riddled with Tism having a conversation.
Yes.
If John Cena crossed the line to AEW, John Cena would have fans immediately jump with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it really just depends on.
But you would also alienate people.
There are people who are fans of AEW. Here's the thing, okay? What is AEW style? Okay, articulate to me AEW's actual style of wrestling.
I'd argue it's what Kenny Omega said. It was a smorgasbord of everything.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is the thing, okay? With respect to Adam Copeland, Adam Copeland is the shits. I'll say it. I'll say it right now. He was never the guy in WWE. He's only ever been good in the WWE system. And this is the thing. You could say the same thing about John Cena. But John Cena was the guy. All right? And I liked Edge. I enjoyed the run. I know every word to Metal Lingus. Okay? John Cena is not Edge. John Cena is the master of that WWE style, the New York style. What is the modern New York style? Okay?
Yeah.
And
just for context, WWE owns the trademark John Cena.
No, they don't. No, come
They
on.
they
own his name.
own
They have his
John
name.
Cena. John Cena. By the way, you okay?
Everything you just said, John.
Stop. On a Howard Stern interview back in like 05, 06, John Cena said that Vince McMahon owned John Cena.
There you go.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
He did say that. That was a word that was said. And of course, they probably owned a trademark on John Cena in a sense that he can't do it. But John Cena is in fact his legal name. If John Cena up and moved John Cena elsewhere, he could still use his name. That's not how trademarks don't prevent you from being able to use your own name.
You can't just stop somebody from using their legit legal name. Like you can't
now
trademark legally.
Is John Cena able to go over there with a different T-shirt every week? My time is now. Hustle, loyalty, respect. He probably can't do that.
That
okay?
Might be an issue, yeah.
The character that we see John Cena played in WWE, I don't think he could take that to AEW. But it's just a theory. It's not Austin Theory.
Thankfully,
yeah, exactly.
I digress. Point. Carlos is right. They do have a trademark on John Cena, but it's not in that same. That's not in that sense. WWE also trademarked Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
He's Samoa Joe over there.
Yeah, exactly.
So they have a trademark on him as long as he's under their employ.
As
long as he's under their contract.
A lot of his friends are there too. We got to keep that in mind. The chances aren't zero.
As I said, I'm not saying I can understand exactly all the reasons he could. I'm just saying the reasons why he shouldn't.
Fair.
And look, let's be, if you worked out that more people would jump ship with Cena than those people that I've got no interest in WWE would leave, then yeah, again, you can square that circle. And look, as somebody who was dying for an alternative, that was about ready to give up watching wrestling before AEW started, and has been there since like the beginning. If John Cena turns up on Dynamite one week, I'm not stopping watching right there and then. I'm going to carry on. Yeah. I'm just saying it's not something that fills me with joy. But
you'd be worried while everybody else who's a Cena fan is like, "Yay!" and you're like, "Oh no."
It's not even that. It's just, again, I just, it's not something that thrills me. It's not something that I'm begging for. Yeah. And again, 10 years ago, with like a 37-year-old John Cena, yeah, I'd be interested in something then. 47-year-old John Cena, there's not many miles left on the tank. There's a reason why he's in a retirement tour. And it's because he feels he can't go at the same level. And look, it happens for people at different ages. Like, Jericho is 54, 55, and you could argue he's been washed for the last few years, but he was still having fairly decent matches at 49, 50, 51. Some people can go longer. Some people, get to like their late 30s, early 40s, and their body's done for various reasons. I just don't think John Cena has a lot in ring to offer, and he is too divisive of what AEW kind of like normally has. The whole smorgasbord thing is very accurate. Again, I think it's, if you're bringing him in, it's what you're doing with him. And if you're going to do an Copeland with him, I would have no interest in seeing that at all. If you're bringing him in for the retirement tour, bring it on. Tag team run, TNT run, national title, go and see him at GCW, go and see him at Hog, fine. But I just don't want him at the top of the card.
Hey, don't, hey, right. Hey, I take offense.
That's not why.
Hey, hold on. Bully Ray. James Bully Ray was the champion at House of Glory not that long ago.
Help me.
But I promise you that John Cena, the Hardys are the current House of Glory tag team champions. That young, spry tag team right there. My thing is, no matter what, the run has been bad, and I'm wanting more. I want more from somewhere else. And John Cena may be a man of his word. He may literally never wrestle again. He's not done with WWE. He's retiring from WWE in-ring competition, which is something I did not need to happen because I already viewed him as retired when Solo gave him 18 Samoan spikes.
Yeah, and then pinned him.
And pinned him like it was nothing. Okay, I've viewed John Cena. Like, this is one of those things where wrestlers who go on retirement tours announce their retirement. I'm doing that one last match because they can do it, right?
Yeah.
But John Cena's been retired for the last 10 years. Okay. He's been retired. He's been retired.
He's been retired. Let's talk about this too, right? Like, not for nothing, but it's like I would rather him be happier getting and there was a way he worded the tweet that made me think, and Ryan think. We both kind of thought like, huh. And it was the tweet he said about retiring from WWE in-ring competition. And this is like not too long ago, right? And he specifically worded it in a way where if he wanted to go somewhere else, he could, and he wouldn't necessarily be breaking his word. Again, the chances aren't zero.
I think if Vince was still in charge of the company, he wouldn't even glance across the road.
Oh, 100%. 100%, you're right. Yeah. But now it's not a factor. So
sure.
Like, we can't say it's not a possibility, especially when he's working with, TBS adjacent people at this point and Warner adjacent people. Like the chances aren't zero now.
Look, it's wrestling. Literally anything is possible.
Yes.
Most things don't ever get near to happening, but Triple H could be booking AEW in 2 years' time.
We got Carlos in private. I gotta say this. Carlos says Peacemaker is AEW chant for corporate synergy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, see, that's what I would love.
Don't get me wrong. Like, when we were getting the Superman deal, or we were getting the Minecraft movie deal, I was like, bit quiet on the Peacemaker front, aren't you, boys?
I'm just saying.
So let's put a pin into John Cena fantasy talk, okay? And I have a fun question for you guys as we approach our wrapping up point, and if anyone in the room wants to have a conversation about this. What is your favorite work in professional wrestling?
There we go. Yeah. Let's go. You know what? I'm curious, and I'm going to start it off with a WrestleCollective, man, unless you have a person you want to hear from.
I am going to go last because I'm curious what everybody else is.
That's fair. We'll go Advocate first. Advocate, I'm curious with your answer on this. Favorite work in professional wrestling? Okay, Advocate must be working. I think he's working.
If you are available, gradually speak up and just try not to talk over to yourselves.
That would be great, actually. Yeah, guys.
Because this method, we don't get to see everybody's hands anymore.
This is fair. Yes. You know what? We'll go Tay. Tay, what is your favorite work in professional wrestling? Tay is here, but not answering. Okay, Dev.
Can you come back to me?
Okay. I wish.
I wish we could come back to you, but you might be the only.
Yeah, you might be the only guy answering. Everybody else ain't answering.
Because there's been some really good ones, but
okay.
Recency bias, that Dom Mysterio, that shit got me.
Okay.
I was really sad. Like, so I'll go with that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with that for today. You'll
go with that for today. It may change
for today.
I got an answer. The billion check wedding with Eric Bischoff as the minister.
You really? Oh wow! From the gay man was okay with the gay work. Okay, got it. That's fair enough.
And Goldust too. Goldust is my favorite work too as a character. Like, coming in as Goldust, has amazing work.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, my favorite part of that work is when he, was going to be pregnant on Shotgun Saturday Night, and then they completely forgot about it. If y'all remember the history of Shotgun then you know. If you don't, you're better off not knowing. Trust it from me, who knows all about the fucking lore. Anyway, let's move on.
That makes me want to eat a shotgun at that point.
You hungry?
You hungry for a shotgun? Saturday night?
Cobain certainly was. Okay, let's go.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! All right, let's go to Caleb. What's your favorite work in pro wrestling, Caleb?
Favorite worker will operate. I need him to come back to AEW.
Worker. That's favorite worker.
Worker?
Work. No. You just described your favorite worker.
You got
work.
Played. You got played. Like we got played. Not just got played.
Yeah, exactly. Like work as in the.
I'll answer for Caleb. His favorite was SummerSlam when Liv Morgan helped Dominic Mysterio. That's his answer.
Easily answered. Yeah.
You know what? Fair enough. Caleb, favorite work, brother. Favorite work as in like angle, brother. Angle, work to angle.
Story.
Like favorite work.
Angle's favorite story angle. Probably the Bloodline.
Okay, fair enough. Was there work to shoot moments in that? I don't know. Probably.
All right. So for context here, okay, maybe I should have went first and just set the tone. But I'm going to go ahead and go now, and we'll come back to anyone who might want to. My personal favorite work in this industry is Montreal.
Here we go.
All right. So everybody for years has said, is the Montreal Screwjob a work or a shoot? It's a work, brother. Okay. It's a work, brother. Everything about it screams work. Okay. Now I will understand this, and I will give you guys this. Hannibal, we talked for a little while this last weekend pertaining to this subject.
25 minutes.
James, every now and again, I will call aggravated about Bret Hart, and I'll go down the rabbit hole. All right.
Yes, you do.
All right. So this is not me being a Bret Hart hater by any means. I just don't believe him when he says I didn't believe him when he says he got fucked over. Okay. There is this documentary. It came out in 97. It came out literally the following year. It was being produced from like 95 onward.
99.
Okay.
Yeah.
It came out in 99? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I digress. Point. Bret Hart, Wrestling with Shadows, Hitman Hart. This is a very important documentary. If you call yourself a Bret Hart fan and you haven't seen this documentary, you're not a Bret Hart fan. This is literally his documentary. This is the documentary.
Mic, by the way.
This is the documentary on Bret Hart. Okay.
I tried to type in the chat.
Bret Hart, towards the end of this documentary, is mic'd up, hot mic'd, like everything we hear him. He has a mic on his person and most of the time, recording every conversation. Okay, we are told that Bret Hart had reasonable creative control in his contract. Okay.
Yes.
Bear this in mind. The key word is reasonable creative control. Reasonable. He's also being very unreasonable by not doing his job and being told, this is your stop date. We want you to lose on your stop date. You are the champion. Okay. Right. Bret Hart claims he would have dropped the title at any other point. We all know the history here. Deep in the match, Bret is thrown in a sharpshooter. But at the end of this documentary, he's mic'd up and he tells Vince, I don't have to beat Shawn. We can have a schmoz or whatever. I think it allows me the opportunity to leave with my head high. Direct quote, Bret Hart's mouth, probably the week of Survivor Series. Okay?
Yeah.
And this is a big conversation for this because it is Survivor Series weekend. Tailor this to Survivor Series. Okay? Deep in the match, he's rolled into the sharpshooter. Vince rings bell. Ends in chaos. Schmoz. It was a work. Now, what I don't think Brett was under the impression of was what kind of schmoz was he going to get. Okay?
Yes.
Typically, a schmoz is when, you know, a bunch of guys run down, interfere the match falls into complete chaos. And otherwise, isn't that exactly what happened?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
You know, thing is, we got a bell ring, a championship changed hands, and is what it is. But that is what I was referring to. What is your favorite work in this industry? What time did you get played? What time did you believe something so much and it wasn't what you thought it was? That's a work.
Now, with that said, we'll go to Moonlight, then we'll try to go around the horn again because she was the only one that didn't get to go.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to be brief here. First of all, I know you really promoted me as this huge WWE watcher. Really hasn't been the same since SummerSlam. So
That's
it's just
fair.
gonna be more of an AEW.
That's
bias.
fair.
I've watched way more AEW in the last year.
Yay!
But the first one I want to bring up, just the whole story, the whole angle with Swerve Strickland and Hangman. That has been just so good. This year-long build-up. They go from just bitter enemies to, we'll talk it out like men. Shout outs to Will Ospreay for being like a middleman, sort of.
Were you
now here they are teaming up with each other to try and take down a common enemy.
Were you genuinely played by that? Did you think that they legitimately hated
not
each other?
necessarily played by it.
But it's your favorite regard.
But you did mention like an angle.
Okay.
But the second one, this one's more of like an angle. But I did play along with last year. I want to say I think it was last year. Mariah May was the AEW Women's Champion. Toni Storm was out with inactivity. She comes back and she has her skater girl persona. And so I remember just playing along like she had amnesia or something. So we played along for like a month or two. And then that moment where she finally reverts back to her timeless personality to absolutely catch Mariah off guard. I just didn't know how long that was going to last, honestly. But I had fun playing along with the work.
Okay, fair enough. Skater girl?
I see. It's very hard. It's very hard to describe what Toni Storm.
Like I guess kind of a rebel.
Yeah,
sure. It's Toni Storm's, because I mean it was just Toni Storm's gimmick in WWE. But I mean, it was very hard to describe.
I just didn't know how to describe it. That's
no.
I would say it's punk rocker. No, that's what she was.
She's definitely
skater.
Yeah.
Punk rock, 100%.
Yeah. So I'm not the only.
She's Avril Lavigne, but wrestles.
She's a poser.
Exactly.
She's a poser.
Yeah, I'm so used to calling it skater.
Poser my ass. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Moonlight. All right, let's go. Let's try to go down the horde one more time. I think Advocate did have to go, so we'll start things off with Big Unk here. We'll go with Graps. Your favorite work in pro wrestling? Oh no, Graps went away. What the fuck? Hey.
No one wants to touch this subject with a 10-foot pole.
Look what you did, Ryan. I blame you. No.
He worked us, didn't he?
He worked us into a shoot.
Making us think he'd answer that question.
Let's go to Tay. Your favorite work in pro wrestling? What's the favorite time you got played? Or a time you could think of getting played in pro wrestling? Tay going once, Tay going twice. Okay, we're gonna go.
This is why I said if you want to go, speak. Just try not to talk over each other, because this situation, we can't see people's hands.
This is fair.
Now, by the next time we do this, by the next time I have something, is just like message one of us in the DMs, preferably James.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm able to see everybody, so that's the thing.
Hannibal, I'm going to take a guess with you.
Go on, him.
Is your favorite work in professional wrestling the moment where they were teasing Main Event Mafia returning in TNA Wrestling, only for Booker T and Big D to return at the Royal Rumble that following Sunday and ruin the entire angle.
It's up there. It's up there.
Can we talk about that for a second? I'm sorry. Now that you brought that up, the fact of how they teased that was that they had Crimson come out in a fucking suit and pretend he's going to shoot somebody. And it's the most absurd shit of all time.
They played the theme music, bro.
Yeah, they played the theme music for him and everything. And then it just doesn't happen.
I think there's two. There was going to be three, but I can't remember what his name is. But do you remember when there was they were hyping something up on TNA, and it looked like it was a ripoff of the Ultimate Warrior?
Yeah.
And then it turned out to just be some absolute nobody that disappeared after about a week. Yeah. But my two both involved women, actually. The first one was when it was WrestleMania 17.
Yes.
And it was when a comatose Linda McMahon stood up and walked over, kicked Vince in the balls. Because, I mean, I just assumed she was comatose, man. She was so shocked that she saw the genetic jackhammer. Generic jackhammer? What was his name? Geriatric jackhammer? I don't know. Anyway, banging someone that he sent his wife into a coma. Of course, the irony is that he'd been doing that for years anyway. But the other one, and this is the one that I think is most shocking, was when I firmly believed that AJ Styles had an affair with Claire
Lynch. No, did you actually believe that?
No, of course not. Don't be fucking stupid, dog.
But it was funny.
It was fun, though.
It was fun.
Even better than that was when they found out that she was playing olive oil at Islands of Adventure. Because that's what she was. That was her gig. Her gig was.
Didn't they turn Dixie Carter's alleged various affairs into that angle?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Just affairs all over the place. TNA, where we
allegedly.
We all fuck. I mean, it is TNA. I mean, it was named by a man-child. Anyway, Caleb.
Does anybody remember?
Oh, shit. Go ahead, Dev.
Does anybody remember the feud, that really good feud between Batista and John Cena, where Dave was like super evil? He hated Mysterio. I actually thought he hated Mysterio, and there was a point where Batista was like in a wheelchair in a cast, and he's like spazzing, and he's like, I'm in elementary school. He's yelling, "I quit." He's crippled. I thought that was the end of his career. I thought he hit rock bottom, and no pun intended. And like, that was my hero at the time, even though he went super evil and killed my other hero, Rey Mysterio. I believed him. I believed that he quit, that he hated wrestling and hated John Cena and Mysterio.
That's fucking
funny. I got
funny.
Worked a good time.
That's fucking funny.
Actually, another one was when they buried Paul Bearer in a glass coffin of cement.
Oh my god! When you could clearly tell they were using a stunt double.
All right.
That's good.
I'm going to loosely touch on this because I don't want to talk on how deep this is. Okay.
Well, hold on, because Caleb's been waiting extremely patiently, and I feel bad.
Yeah. How about when Dominic Mysterio turned on his dad, Rey Mysterio?
Oh yeah, when he kicked him in the dick, then too.
Yeah.
He deserved it.
Yeah.
Why does Ray always get kicked in the dick? I'm starting to realize that.
Ray deserved it.
No, he doesn't. Don't eat that blasphemy in here.
He's a deadbeat dad.
He is not. He is not.
Dom just wanted a Rolls Royce and a Mercedes.
Not his real dad anymore.
Like Rey Mysterio instilled so much heartbreak into Eddie Guerrero, his heart exploded later that November. Okay.
Holy shit, Ryan! Jesus.
It's true.
What I'm going to say is, okay, Because sometimes you got to get control of the room, and sometimes you have to say the most outlandish thing to get it. The actual time I think I've been worked for real for an angle in professional wrestling is the death of Vince McMahon. Him exploding. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you here. We joke, oh, well, Trump called and asked if Vince was okay. It's just like, you know why he called that? Because it was reported on everybody's locally syndicated news that Vince McMahon exploded.
I heard he'd been taken to his local medical facility.
So, like we're not going to touch on the follow-up to that. We're not going to touch on the following storyline. But Vince McMahon exploding was reported on the local news.
What about that time when Hornswoggle, when he drew a cartoon hole in the wall and he ran through it?
Yeah.
And then Carlito tried to do the same thing and he smashed into the wall?
That wasn't cool.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was magic, though.
That wasn't cool. Oh, well. Yeah, that's true.
So is this it?
Okay.
Are we wrapping up?
Well, we've been going on since
up after
5:30. It's 2.5 hours
I'm the
in.
only one that yeah, fuck it. Nobody cares about me anyway.
You can
save my
go, James. James, go. We've already been on this forever. Say what you want, brother.
No. Favorite work, or the time I have been the most played. Oh man. And then I actually enjoyed it. Let me think. Probably as bad as it is and morbid as the story was, the Matt and Edge shit. Honestly, like that really did get me. And then it turned out there was some elements of shoot. And then they just ended up working together after the fact. So I'm like, okay, fair enough. Probably that. I don't like the ending, but you know, WWE infamously always fucks up the ending because Matt should have won. But, you know.
Who they said, you know, instead of the hero going over in this, you know, the guy who slept with his best friend's girlfriend, he's the winner. He's the guy. He's the guy everyone should aspire to be.
That's obviously Vince McMahon's guy. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, because if Vince did the same shit, that's why.
Now, here's the thing. What would have really made sense if Edge did that to Christian's wife instead.
Yeah.
And then we could have built something there. But it is what it is.
Man, could you imagine?
We got plugs to hit. WrestleCollective weekly podcast, I do believe, returns this Thursday.
Yeah,
sure does.
And you can catch these two light the fuse because I'm going to be at the venue.
Yes.
This Wednesday. Whenever Raw goes off the air tonight, because I don't know when that is, but supposedly 15 minutes after the show, Monday night, Carlos, the Raw review with Dev. Enjoy that show on the X Spaces, assuming that everything isn't, you know, burning down between now and showtime.
Survivor Series with us.
There you go.
Oh God, Survivor Series. We don't talk about Survivor Series here. Spent the last hour talking about Survivor Series.
Ash put a great one in the chat. The Mark Henry retirement speech.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Oh,
that was
so
a really
good.
one.
So good.
Oh, that one was so good.
I never.
The AJ Styles retirement speech.
Yeah.
Was also good when they ran it back.
Also, yeah. Go ahead, Brian.
Wednesday night chaos as well. Our Dynamite review show, 4-hour preview show. Yeah, we got you covered on Wednesdays. Really hard.
Yeah. And then anything you want to check out with me outside of the collective, because I'll be on for Light the Fuse this week. You can just check it out on JEBUTS95. I got watch-alongs this week. Ryan and I are probably doing a bunch of them. I don't even know what we have.
I'm doing one. I'm doing at least one.
He is doing at least one.
I'm not
doing several. So he's not missing Cena's match. That's not happening. He will be watching.
That's 2 weeks time.
That is 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks time?
Yeah, it's not this week. It's
oh yeah, you're right. It's
after.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Will you be watching it legally?
No.
It's if you got a VPN, it's free on YouTube.
Look, guys, we got a law-abiding citizen in here.
Yeah. Well, with that said, gentlemen,
Stephanie McMahon once promised me that I could use a VPN and not pay any additional fees. Okay, that's the empress of the company right there. Okay,
absolutely.
Like if she says it's okay, fine, it must be.
Yep.
Exactly, I agree. All right. Well, with that
sure.
Yeah, exactly. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Wrestling with Tism. What a phenomenal first show, even though it was all over the place. Epic, you could say. Thank you very much for watching this edition of Wrestling with Tism live on YouTube. I think it went pretty well. And until next time, we will see you for the next Tism. Take care, everybody.
Just me.
Ladies and gents, thanks for stopping by. Until next time, this is the WrestleCollective.